What an incredible Maharashtra blockbuster day it has turned out to be. Viewer, thanks once again for making us the most watched channel on any big news day. And in Maharashtra, it's off the charts. The Ajit Pawar versus Sharad Pawar fight over the NCP has reached fever pitch. Very personal things have been said. A Lakshman Rekha of sorts has been crossed by Ajit Pawar, and now there's a great deal of suspense over kaun banega NCP ka asli dada. Is it going to be the uncle, the patriarch Sharad Pawar, or is it going to be the nephew Ajit Pawar, who's now in a dalliance with the NDA BJP Sarkar in Maharashtra? I'm going to take you through the very latest that's happening on what has been a nail-biting day in Mumbai. Thanks as always for tuning in. I'm Shiv. These are the headlines. Big show strength by Ajit Pawar and Uncle Sharad Pawar factions. 31 MLAs back the Ajit Pawar faction. 14 so far with Sharad Pawar. The senior Pawar roars, NCB symbol will not go anywhere. Ajit Pawar trains his guns at Uncle Sharad, crosses a Lakshman Rekha, says Pawar Senior is 83 and should resign, exposes Sharad Pawar's flip-flop by joining hands with the Shiv Sena.
आता जर वय जास्त झालं 82 झालं 83 झालं तुम्ही कधी थांबणार आहात का नाही विद्यमान सर
Big claim by NCP leader Mahesh Tapase, says revolt brewing in the Shinde camp as well. Claims Eknath Shinde's MLAs are upset over this new tryst with the NCP rebels. Bulldozer justice in Madhya Pradesh. House of BJP youth workers seen urinating on Dalit man has been razed to the ground. NSA slapped on accused thug Pravesh Shukla. Countdown begins to launch of Chandrayaan 3. ISRO puts out video of moon landers assembly. 13th of July is when the launch takes place. The Pawar versus Pawar fight has escalated beyond the point of any return, with Ajit Pawar filing a plea now before the Election Commission, claiming to be the real leader of the NCP and the owner of the real NCP symbol. India Today has now accessed details of Ajit Pawar's petition before the Election Commission. Ajit Pawar's faction has claimed that the National Executive of the NCP met in Mumbai on the 30th of June and elected Ajit Pawar as national president of the party. This, even as Sharad Pawar has just declared that the party name and symbol are not going anywhere and that there is no question of anyone other than the Sharad Pawar faction being the true owners and operators of the NCP legacy, the NCP symbol and the NCP name. The fight now shifting to the Election Commission. Take a look.
या पक्षानुसार ही घड्याळाची खून आमची आहे. ठीक आहे, तुम्ही म्हणू शकता की निवडणूक आयोगाने घड्याळाची खून कुणाला दिली हे सगळ्या देशाला माहिती. आणि मी तुमच्यासाठी सांगतो, खून कुठे जाणार नाही ही गोष्ट खरी आहे, पण खून हे देशाचं राजकारण करत नाही. त्यामुळे कोणी सांगत असेल की चिन्ह आम्ही घेऊन जाऊ, चिन्ह जाणार नाही, जाऊन देणार नाही.
Let's go straight across to India Today. It's Rajdeep Sardesai who's on the ground. He's been tracking all these rapid developments over the Ajit Pawar versus Sharad Pawar fight over the NCP. Rajdeep, the Election Commission is, perhaps the next battlefield where things are now going to be fought. The Ajit Pawar faction has apparently taken things to that battlefield now. How do you see this play out? In today's number flex, it's a 31 versus 14 sort of situation as things stand right now. We understand that the Ajit Pawar faction have been bundled off to a hotel for lunch. Where do things stand according to you, Rajdeep?
You know, Shiv, this is a numbers game at one level, and if it was just a numbers game, then clearly this round has been won by Ajit Pawar. But in this instance, it's not just about numbers, because the Maharashtra elections are what? Lok Sabha less than 12 months away, Maharashtra 12 to 15 months away. Belief in Mumbai that maybe Maharashtra and Lok Sabha could be held together. So therefore, the real battle in a way, Shiv, is going to the people and winning the hearts and minds of the people. I'm here at the YB Chavan Centre, and the sense you get is that Mr. Pawar still has the goodwill of a majority of the karyakartas or the workers. So while Ajit Pawar has successfully shown that a majority of the MLAs are with him, you get a sense that many of the district level leaders, the karyakartas as of now, are with Mr. Sharad Pawar. It's a very interesting fight because, you know, they're not directly targeting each other in the manner that Eknath Shinde and Uddhav Thackeray did 1 year ago, but they're making it very clear that they believe they are the real NCP. Ajit Pawar has made it clear he's the real NCP, and Sharad Pawar made that clear when he said the symbol is with us. So it's a battle now that will have to be fought in the elections of Maharashtra, and I think that's what is Mr. Pawar's last hope. He will hope that at the age of 83, he can create some kind of sympathy for himself and use that perhaps to garner votes and ensure that the MBA is in with a chance. Until then, I think Ajit Pawar for now has shown that he has power on his side. And this is a party that is inured to power. 18 of the 24 years of the NCP, it's been on the right side of power.
And Rajdeep, you know, speaking about perception, has Ajit Pawar, in some of the things that he said today in that speech, handed Sharad Pawar, a sympathy weapon? You know, he took him on very personally, talked about his age, asking him why he's taken a U-turn on his retirement. Do you think that was crossing a Lakshman Rekha of sorts?
You know, you're probably right. I just interviewed Jitendra Awad, who for now is the leader of the opposition, and you can play that interview in a bit, where Mr. Awad simply said this: do you allow your father to simply retire, or tell your father to retire? And I think, yes, Mr. Pawar will be astute enough to play that card, saying, look, at the age of 83, the people who I sort of built up are the ones who betrayed me. He hasn't said it yet, but in the heat and dust of an election campaign, he may well say that. I think Ajit Pawar, that was the one wrong note that he struck. Because I don't think you focus on age of a leader in Indian politics, that can backfire. As you can see, many of these supporters of Mr. Pawar have been with him for 30, 40 years, and they're not going anywhere. And if he's attacked by, targeting him on the age factor, it may well rebound for him.
Okay, it may well rebound for him. Rajdeep, thanks very much for joining me on that. I also want to bring in Sahil Joshi, who's been tracking all of these developments from the two camps and everything in between as well. Because remember, both sides have been talking about being in touch with MLAs on the other side as well. I'll go to Sahil in just a moment. But the last big development after the big meeting in Bandra by the Ajit Pawar camp is that all of those MLAs, and they claim to have 31 MLAs. Ajit Pawar, of course, claimed to have 40 MLAs, and they're in touch with people on the other side in the Sharad Pawar faction and vice versa. But, they are currently at the Taj Lands End Hotel in Mumbai for lunch, but it could be something else as well. Sahil is with me live. Sahil Joshi is with me live on this latest development. Sahil, the Election Commission is where a plea has been filed by the Ajit Pawar camp. What happens next? We've seen all the muscle flexing taking place right now. Sharad Pawar has said the NCP name and symbol is not going to go anywhere. What happens next now with the Election Commission and elsewhere, Sahil?
Well, the petition which has been filed to the Election Commission by the Ajit Pawar faction, it clearly shows that what happened is not a sudden move. Of course, it is quite a planned move. On 30th of June, the petition says that Praful Patel, who is the working president of the party, had called for a national executive meeting in Mumbai, and in that meeting, the resolution was passed that the party is moving away from its objectives, and that is the reason why they have removed Sharad Pawar as the party's national president and have appointed Ajit Pawar as the president of the national president of the party. And then swiftly they moved further. They have submitted a resolution to the speaker as well. But that means now the fight is going to go with in the election commission, where both the factions will now have to prove that they have the majority of the MLAs, the MPs, elected members are with their side, and accordingly, finally, the election commission will have to take a call. Election commission always applies triple test. The first test is with respect to that which party is following the objectives. The second test is with respect to on whose side the party's machinery, the party's administration is, the party's office bearers are, and the third test is with respect to the elected members.
Yeah.
In the case of Shiv Sena, the election commission, said that they are unable to decide that which action is actually following the objectives of the party. Nobody who is deviating from the objectives of the party, so that test has been dropped. The second option with respect to the office bearers and the party workers, party functionaries, lakhs of affidavits were filed with the election commission.
Okay.
The election commission took a view that they don't have a machinery to check the validity of those affidavits, so that test was also dropped. And finally, they decided to give the symbol and the name to Eknath Shinde on the basis of number of elected MLAs and MPs on Eknath Shinde's side. So similar fraction might be applied, a similar test will be applied in the NCP's case, and while doing so, Ajit Pawar has taken the legal course of before actually taking the oath on Sunday, just days before this particular national executive meeting was called and this particular resolution was passed. Now everything will move to the election commission. There finally the fight will happen with respect to on who maximum number of MLAs are.
Okay, Sahil, thanks very much for that, and we'll try and, when we get Sahil back, we'll fix that audio. Apologize for the quality of that sound, but I want to also bring in all of our reporters. Remember, India Today has been covering this story at every single location where, where this drama has been playing out. Mustafa Sheikh is live with me from the YB Chavan Centre, which is where the Sharad Pawar, camp held that big meeting and that big speech happened. Pankaj Upadhyay is at Ajit Pawar's residence. Ritvik Bhalekar is at at the hotel where the Ajit Pawar camp, is having lunch. We're going to go. Very interesting to see how, things are playing out over there. We'll go to my three colleagues in just a moment. I just want to quickly recap for our viewers the top developments. Things are moving so quickly, so rapidly. I want to quickly just tell you that the Maharashtra crisis is continuing to, continuing to escalate. Now the suspense has actually increased. The NCP's original patriarch Sharad Pawar has hit out at the Ajit Pawar faction, mocking him and them for still using his picture in their posters. Sharad Pawar said that the Ajit Pawar camp knows that they cannot survive without him and his image. Sharad Pawar has also asserted that the party symbol is not going anywhere. Well, after Ajit Pawar's jibe at Sharad Pawar's age, the Sharad Pawar faction has launched a counter-attack. Sharad Pawar's daughter and Lok Sabha MP Supriya Sule slammed Ajit Pawar for mocking Pawar's age, adding that the party's original symbol is with the Sharad Pawar faction and it will not go anywhere. Supriya Sule also launched a scathing attack on the BJP, calling the BJP the most corrupt party. Supriya accused the Saffron Party of doing politics of convenience. Well, after the big show of strength, NCP leaders of the Ajit Pawar faction have, like I said, just been taken to the Land's End hotel in Mumbai for lunch. Earlier, a huge show of strength was held by the Ajit Pawar camp at the Mumbai Education Trust College in Bandra, where at least 31 MLAs did appear to show up. Well, amidst this crucial number game that continues, the Ajit camp, like I said, has moved the election commission to stake claim to the party name, the NCP, and the party symbol, which is the clock. Sharad Pawar's camp has, however, filed a caveat in the EC, urging the poll panel to listen to them as well before reaching any decision. Let's go straight across now to our reporters. Ritvik Bhalekar is at the Taj Land's End, where that big lunch is taking place with all those MLAs. Ritvik, what's the latest there? Lunch by all the Ajit Pawar camp MLAs. What are you hearing?
Right after the meeting which was held at MET College premises, all the MLAs were put into one bus, and that bus is now been taken at Taj Lands in Bandra, where there will be a lunch, and the lunch is going on right behind me on the second floor of this hotel. And what we are sensing is that Ajit Pawar and Praful Patel will also be addressing a meeting after the lunch to all the MLAs who have gathered for this meeting. The official number has not yet been declared, but the numbers which we could get from the present MLAs out there were somewhere around 31 MLAs were present, and not more than 4 MLCs were present for this meeting. So Ajit Pawar seems to be still short of numbers which is required to prove his majority, and also to circumvent the anti-defection law. So he has to gather and garner support of more than 36 MLAs. So we need to see that our other MLAs are also going to join him in the due course of time. But right now, what we can gather is he's trying to consolidate all of them at one place. There is no information if they are going to stay here or they'll be contained here for how long. But just for sure, they'll be having this lunch today, and after that, they'll be addressing a meeting.
Okay, very interesting, because so we don't know if it's just lunch or they're also going to get rooms and stay there, which would give this entire drama a completely different kind of picture. Because as we know, both camps have been talking about being in touch with MLAs on the other side. Pankaj, Ajit Pawar, big speech, in many ways crossing some Lakshman Rekhas in terms of taking direct pot shots at his uncle as well. What are you hearing from within the camp now? What is their next step? They've taken the battle to the Election Commission, but in terms of just perception and politics, Ajit Pawar has the numbers. What about perception?
Look, Shiv, elections are around the corner, and both Sharad Pawar and Ajit Pawar clearly realize the seriousness of the situation, and that's precisely the reason why both the Pawars made that emotional speech in front of the cadres today. It is also very clear that neither Sharad Pawar nor Ajit Pawar are willing to give up at this point of time. Also, it is this, the present times are very critical for Ajit Pawar. One, he is a part of the Fadnavis-Shinde government, and they are demanding lucrative positions, especially finance, energy, power, housing, social security. And they've been clearly told by the Bharatiya Janata Party that you need to sort out your mess and you need to prove your numbers. Because Shinde faction is also building pressure on the Bharatiya Janata Party that you cannot be giving finance and other lucrative posts to the NCP. It was because of them that they had to leave the Mahavikas Aghadi, and it is going to be great injustice if NCP is given such lucrative postings. So unless, of course, Ajit Pawar is able to bring forth the numbers, which clearly he does not have right now. Even though, Shiv, he was claiming that he has 40 plus numbers, on ground zero, he had only 31. Though he was very clear on the stage when he said that there are many MLAs he's still in touch with, many could not be present, some are in hospital as well. The fact remains, in politics, numbers play the most important role, and he has to gather those numbers. 31 is not good. He has to get at least 36, because he also realizes that in some time the monsoon session is also going to start. Then the ball isn't going to be the speaker's court. Here are two leaders who've said they represent the political party. They've announced their whips as well. It's going to be difficult. He does not have the numbers. It might turn out to be a big embarrassment yet again. But also remember, lastly, I would like to say, Shiv, he's the Deputy Chief Minister of Maharashtra now, along with Devendra Fadnavis. Age is by his side. And most importantly, he has crucial members, the senior members, the close aides of Sharad Pawar in his gang now, especially Dilip Walse Patel, Chhagan Bhujbal, and Praful Patel as well. So if he's just 5 or 6 short, do not be surprised in the days to come. There might be some who might jump ship. But as the fact remains, as many political pundits also point out, that Sharad Pawar might just pull in an ace at the last moment, as he has done many times in the past as well. So we won't be surprised if some from the Ajit camp go back to the Sharad Pawar camp as well. So if situation is very fluid, I'm right outside this 5-star hotel Taj Lands in Bandra in the suburban Mumbai, where all these MLA have gathered. They are saying right now they've gathered for a lunch. After that show of strength, they all combined in a bus, and in a bus they came here. A sign of solidarity. After that, as my colleague Ritvik was also pointing out, that the senior leaders, especially Praful Patel, is going to gather his troops, take a meeting, and he's going to give calls to rest of the members and urge them to join this brigade, saying that, look, we could be getting the lucrative posting. That's what you all wanted. You want the development of the NCP, not just in the state. You want the NCP to become a national party as well. For that, you have to join the Bharatiya Janata Party. And Ajit Pawar today clearly said that there is no option to Narendra Modi in 2024 as well. So Ajit Pawar clearly has his eyes on the assembly elections and the national elections as well. So let's see what happens in the hours to come.
So perceptionally also, it looks like it's advantage, for now it's advantage Ajit Pawar just by strength of those numbers. Mustafa is at the YB Chavan Centre, which is where the Sharad Pawar faction had its big meeting. You saw Supriya Sule and Sharad Pawar both make very big, very emotional speeches. Mustafa, the numbers not quite adding up as far as the Sharad Pawar faction is concerned. They filed an appeal with the Election Commission saying you can't take any decision without listening to us as well. But what is the strategy now? The political strategy by the Sharad Pawar camp? They must be dialing the numbers of all those MLAs who didn't show up.
Well, yes, that seems to be the case. It's advantage Nephew as of now, and somewhat it seems that Sharad Pawar and beat Supriya Sule, which we are seeing she is meeting the party workers after this event. They have accepted the fact that they have to go to elections and then decide it. The way Ajit Pawar has been confident about election commission hearing since day one says something about what we have seen in the Shiv Sena. The other thing is that in the press conference he said that national president of the party is Sharad Pawar, while in his petition in the election commission he's saying that on 30th June itself the parliamentary board of NCP has appointed Ajit Pawar as the national president. So, and he has also approached election commission. So he has made all his moves and it doesn't look like he's backing off, and at this point it seems clear for the NCP that it's Ajit Pawar versus Sharad Pawar. They will have to go to elections. But in case of member of parliaments, interestingly, Shiv, it is not like what happened to Uddhav Thackeray, because Sharad Pawar's MPs were elected in 2019 even against the Modi wave. So whether those member of parliaments will leave Sharad Pawar and go to Ajit Pawar's side, that is one thing, because in the case of Eknath Shinde versus Uddhav Thackeray, MPs and MLA's strength were more with Eknath Shinde, and hence the election commission had given the symbol and party name to him. We'll have to wait and see what happens in the case of NCP, but it is somewhat clear to and similar to what happened in the case of Shiv Sena, and things have already started to begin. Back to you.
Well, thanks very much for that. And we're also hearing now that Sharad Pawar will be headed to Delhi tomorrow. We'll have more details on what that's about, whether it's just a routine travel now that the big meetings in Mumbai are over. But our rolling coverage continues on the other side. I'm also going to get a little deeper into Sharad Pawar's political journey and his past, because he's one of India's most well-known politicians, but his journey is one of the most intriguing. And there could be many clues in Sharad Pawar's saga as to what is going to unfold before Maharashtra at this time. That's how we're going to take it forward right after this break. Stay with India Today's most watched coverage of the big Bombay blockbuster.
I am diabetic. Should I stop consuming artificial sweeteners? I am non-diabetic, but I don't like to consume sugar. I'm okay with my stevia. Should I continue? Can I replace my sugar with honey? Are dates healthy? Are these questions on top of your mind? Has the WHO guideline on artificial sweeteners confused you? Then listen in to what experts say. Substitute for diabetes. What substitute you think a diabetic person should use for sugar? different sugar alternatives may be healthy for different people. Natural sweeteners are generally a good choice for seniors who don't have diabetes. But artificial sweeteners do have unexpected health risks depending on someone's current health concerns and comorbidities. Natural substitutes like honey and dates can be alternatives to refined sugar. However, it is important to be mindful of portion sizes.
Good research, which is randomized controlled trials with dates, have shown that they do not have much effect as far as sugars are concerned in short term and in intermediate term, 3 to 6 months time. So a limited amount of dates is as a breakfast or as a snack we can allow in a patient who's has a good control of diabetes and patient who's not very obese, and we will tell them that if you restrict to this particular quantity, nothing will happen to your sugar, and that probably nothing will happen to your weight as well.
How I can limit my sugar and what alternatives we have. How safe are natural substitutes of sugar? Natural substitutes like honey and dates can be alternatives to refined sugar and are often considered healthier options due to their natural composition and potential additional nutritional benefits. But can honey and dates manage blood sugar levels and replace artificial sweeteners?
Tell us how you feel and the few reasons that came into your mind to shift this most important futures instrument from Singapore to India.
Any IFSC, the fulcrum always is a stock exchange where a lot of trading happens, and that's what India's main asset class, which is the index. Nifty index is the largest traded index in the world, and it also is the largest traded instruments in the world today. Some portion of it for offshore part was getting traded in SGX, that is Singapore Exchange, for over 20 years now, and that's where it was decided between two exchanges and two governments in around 2017-18 that the orders being placed on Singapore Exchange would come to the GIFT City, and they will be matched here along with the orders coming out of GIFT City itself. And that's where the project started in around 2017-18, and today it has culminated into complete transfer of all the orders coming out of Singapore from wherever in the world. When people place orders on Nifty index onto Singapore Exchange, they get transferred onto GIFT City transparently without even the user coming to know of it, and they get matched against the orders coming from GIFT City or other orders from SGX itself. And that is a first time in the world collaboration between two countries trying to compete but also collaborate, and the settlement will continue to take place with the Singapore customers as if they are trading in Singapore, but actually the trading is happening in GIFT City.
How, according to you, will traders in India, this is an increasing demographic profile, we've seen young people come into trading, and all of us without fail start our day in the morning by looking at the SGX Nifty quote, which gives an indicator of how the Indian markets open. About 21 hours will be available for Indian traders to hedge their positions after the main markets close at 3:30 p.m. Apart from that, what all will change for Indian traders since SGX now starts trading out of Ahmedabad and not Singapore? Let's take it for traders first.
Traders who are trading in India usually would not be coming into the GIFT City because GIFT IFSC is actually an offshore jurisdiction as far as India is concerned. It trades in dollars, and normal Indian entities are not allowed to trade here except when they transfer using a liberalized remittance scheme of RBI up to $250,000 per year. So in a way, this is for the high-end traders or high-end investors across the world who have interest in the Indian markets. But naturally that flow which is available to trade on the GIFT Nifty would also somewhere through other means when the FPIs have the registration in both Singapore as well as the domestic Indian markets, then they may be able to arbitrage between the two markets, and that's where the Indian markets will also become more deeper. But the other side, there are around 60 brokers of Indian origin who have now set up shops in GIFT City, which is actually a separate jurisdiction, and 40 more are in pipeline. So those people will be getting their customers from across the world to come here and place more orders, and that's where I believe it's going to be a more intense competition for liquidity, and also it will create a much larger pool of liquidity into the GIFT IFSC.
By attacking Sharad Pawar directly today, Ajit Pawar has marked a major milestone, not just in the NCP, but in Indian politics. I'll explain how. Because even the Prime Minister, when labelling the NCP as corrupt recently, never took Sharad Pawar's name directly. Now, none of this stalwart politician's many rivals and detractors have so far ventured to take him on at a personal level. But that's what his own nephew, Ajit Pawar, has done today. By alluding to his uncle's age, asking why Sharad Pawar keeps changing his mind about retirement, Ajit Pawar has ventured where no Pawar beta over decades has dared to go before. Ajit Pawar may have the numbers in this ongoing MLA bean count, but he may have just handed one of India's most wily politicians a big fat weapon to take to the people of Maharashtra. Because Sharad Pawar, 82 years old, is still part of the star cast of Indian politics, nowhere near being relegated to any Margdarshak Mandal. As someone who has dominated Maharashtra politics for decades now, Sharad Pawar is now a non-negotiable part of the national political canvas, a stalwart whose experience and command is depended on by a whole host of parties to rally a united opposition to mount a fight against the Modi Sarkar next year. As you watch this nail-biting dynastic battle break out between the Pawars today, it's useful to look at Sharad Pawar's journey so far, because in that path lie many clues to what has happened today and why Pawar continues to trudge on regardless. Born in 1940, Sharad Pawar became secretary of the Maharashtra Youth Congress at the young age of 24, and then at the age of 27 became an MLA for the first time from Baramati on a Congress party ticket. At 32, Sharad Pawar became a minister for the first time in 1972. 6 years later, he rebelled against his boss, Chief Minister Vasant Dada Patil, toppled that government and became Maharashtra's youngest ever chief minister at the age of 38. 2 years later, Indira Gandhi famously dismissed the Sharad Pawar government in 1980. Biding his time, Sharad Pawar fought and won his first Lok Sabha election from Baramati in 1984. In 1986, he returned to the Congress and became the Maharashtra chief minister for the second time in his career. Then in 1990, despite falling short of a majority, Pawar managed to secure the support of a dozen independent MLAs and stormed back to the chief minister's chair for the record third time. By this time, Pawar had also begun to nurse very real prime ministerial ambitions. But his quest to storm the Delhi throne failed, only allowing him to secure the post of defence minister in the then P.V. Narasimha Rao government in 1991. Missing his chance to be Prime Minister, something he wanted very, very badly, Sharad Pawar still wanted to be some kind of a boss, and being Defence Minister simply didn't cut it. And so in 1993, he returned to Maharashtra as Chief Minister for a record 4th time in the wake of the Bombay riots after the Babri Masjid demolition. But 2 years later, the Congress lost power on Sharad Pawar's watch. Then in 1999, Pawar made his second big exit from the Congress party, this time on the issue of then President Sonia Gandhi's foreign origins issue, and floated what we now know as the NCP, the very party that is now being torn apart from within. For a decade between 2004 and 2014, Sharad Pawar was the UPA's agriculture minister. In 2014, losing power both at the centre and in Maharashtra, Sharad Pawar began a brief dalliance with the BJP, something he has been accused of doing for a whole decade now. Remember, a very cordial personal relationship with Prime Minister Modi has only added to the intrigue over Sharad Pawar's intentions. In 2019, Pawar, at the age of 79, led a spirited fight back against the BJP Shiv Sena, ensuring that the NCP and the Congress performed well enough to create a famous stalemate. Everyone remembers what happened, because after several twists and turns in that saga, including nephew Ajit Pawar's unsuccessful attempt to form a government with the BJP at that time, the Maharashtra Vikas Aghadi, or the MVA, came to power under Shiv Sena President Uddhav Thackeray, with Pawar, Sharad Pawar, as the glue of that big rainbow coalition. And this year, Sharad Pawar dramatically announced his resignation as the NCP chief amidst a lot of buzz that his nephew Ajit Pawar was considering breaking the party and joining the hands with the BJP, a suspicion that has proven painfully true for the NCP today. Those who know Sharad Pawar know that it is virtually impossible that he wasn't aware of the big rebellion and his nephew's plans. Many wonder if all that's happening is part of some much bigger game that only Sharad Govindrao Pawar actually understand. Now, a track record of shrewd movements and strategic thinking is possibly to blame for the perception that Sharad Pawar ko sab kuch pata hai, and Sharad Pawar will still have the last laugh. For a politician at 82, a Rajya Sabha MP and a patriarch of a dynasty, Sharad Pawar has his hands more full than most. Remember, apart from keeping his house in order in Maharashtra, a constellation of parties spread all across the country look up to Sharad Pawar literally now to be the rallying point for opposition unity ahead of 2024. When it comes to netas like Sharad Pawar, they say the past does not pass. 44 years after he became Maharashtra Chief Minister for the first time, trust Sharad Pawar to continue being the lead actor in Bombay's latest blockbuster. And the man who has actually crossed that famous Lakshman Rekha, dared to go where no other detractor has gone before, is none other, ironically, than someone from within the dynasty. The man at the center of this Maharashtra drama and political quake is Ajit Anantrao Pawar, the nephew. In national politics, he's known as the nephew of Sharad Pawar, but in Western Maharashtra, he is the dada that everyone depends on and obeys. He's the man with the rising moon at this moment. But for how long is the question.
The fortune wheel has turned in Ajit Anantrao Pawar's favour on his birth month. Come 22nd July, the nephew of the Maharashtra satrap Sharad Pawar will turn 64 years. It's been a long, winding journey for Ajit Pawar. Despite being the son of the elder brother, he waited in the wings for nearly 5 decades since his political debut in 1982. Ajit Pawar's father worked with V. Shantaram's Raj Kamal Studios, but he died at an early age. Ajit Pawar gave up his studies to fill in his father's shoes. Then, Sharad Pawar was the rising star of Congress Party in Maharashtra. The nephew started with the Sugar Factory Cooperative and then District Cooperative Bank before becoming the MP from Baramati. He's been mentored by Sharad Pawar, the Machiavelli of regional politics in India. Despite being in numerous controversies, the 7-term MLA learned the value of grassroots politics very well. Today, he enjoys a significant following among legislators and cadre alike. An expert in electoral management and a resourceful leader, he groomed many MLAs and even helped them get elected. It ensured that he remained number 2 in his uncle's party even after the arrival of his cousin and Sharad Pawar's daughter, Supriya Sule. But he'd waited for his turn in the sun for too long, and he was becoming impatient. Ajit became Deputy Chief Minister in November 2010 for the first time after flexing his muscle and thwarting his uncle's plan to again give the position to the party's heavyweight Chhagan Bhujbal. In a surprise move, he resigned in September 2012 following allegations against him in an irrigation scam. But 3 months later, he came back after obtaining a clean sheet for himself from the then Congress NCP government. Ajit Pawar's ambition has always been the post of Chief Minister of Maharashtra. He was close to the post in 2004 when the NCP won 2 seats more than the Congress. But Sharad Pawar conceded the post to the Congress in exchange for more cabinet berths. A determined Ajit ensured support among the MLAs and arm-twisted his uncle to make him Deputy Chief Minister in 2010. Since then, he's taken oath as Deputy CM 4 more times. Till now, he's been the real strongman for Congress NCP borough of Western Maharashtra. Ajit Pawar not only enjoys a good following there, but knows the in and out of the powerful cooperation sector, which is the backbone of the region's economy. BJP is desperate to make inroads into the sector. Now with Ajit Pawar on board, it will be easier for it to vie for the 11 Lok Sabha and over 60 assembly seats in Western Maharashtra. In fact, even Supriya Sule's Lok Sabha seat of Baramati could be in danger. Because truly speaking, it was Ajit who handled affairs in Pawar family's pocket borough of Baramati. But when Sharad Pawar wanted to resign in the beginning of May, the power tussle and Cold War between the nephew and uncle reached a tipping point. Sharad Pawar made his daughter Supriya Sule NCP president, and the plot to 2nd July. Ajit Pawar's mutiny was written then and there. Bureau Report, India Today.
And amidst all this pandemonium between the Pawars, Ajit Pawar and Sharad Pawar, you're probably wondering, how does Chief Minister Eknath Shinde of the Shiv Sena look at all of these developments? Because it is his government to which this rebel faction of the NCP has now been added, with Ajit Pawar being inducted as a Deputy Chief Minister. Well, the short answer to that question is all is not well in the Shinde Sena following the entry of Ajit Pawar and 8 other rebel NCP MLAs into the Maharashtra government cabinet. Chief Minister Shinde looks like he's on damage control mode after several of his MLAs are known to have expressed concern and disappointment about having to work with their long-standing rivals, the NCP. Take a look.
All is not well in the ruling alliance in Maharashtra. The induction of 9 NCP MLAs led by Ajit Pawar has sparked a rift in Chief Minister Eknath Shinde's party. Several Shiv Sena MLAs are now upset over their long-standing political rivals, NCP, joining them. The divide forced Chief Minister Eknath Shinde to cancel his trip to Nagpur to welcome President Draupadi Murmu and call a party meeting at his official residence instead. With the NCP joining the ruling coalition, Shiv Sena MLAs fear losing out on key portfolios and later even election tickets to Ajit Pawar's group.
ये गुट आने से कुछ हमारी जो सत्ता है, सत्ता में उनको हिस्सेदारी देना जरूरी हुआ था। जब उनको सत्ता में हिस्सेदारी दी तो बट नेचुरल है कि कुछ हमारे लोगों के जो पद मिलने वाले थे वो कम हुए, इसलिए थोड़ी नाराजगी है, ये मैं मानता हूँ। ये कोई झूठ या छुपाने वाली बात नहीं। नहीं वो आ गए, हम बहुत खुश है, ऐसा नहीं है।
The Shiv Sena and the BJP have 10 ministers each in the present Maharashtra cabinet. With Sunday's inclusion of 9 NCP MLAs, the number of ministers has now risen to 29. The state can have a total of 43 ministers as per constitutional limit. The remaining 14 posts will have to be divided between 3 parties now, with the BJP likely to take the lion's share. Meanwhile, Uddhav Thackeray's Shiv Sena has gone on the offensive. They claim the balance of power in the Maharashtra ruling alliance has shifted from Chief Minister Eknath Shinde to the new Deputy Chief Minister Ajit Pawar. The Sena UBT has approached the Supreme Court seeking a decision by the Speaker on their pending disqualification petition against the Shinde Sena MLAs.
बात ऐसी है कि एक फ्रेज है, एक फुल दो हाफ, कभी कभी आप मजाक में ले लेते हैं, लेकिन हमारे यहाँ 2 हाफ है, 2 डिप्टी सीएम, और एक फुल नहीं है, वो भी डाउटफुल है। मुख्यमंत्री वो कभी भी जा सकते हैं। जिस तरह से अजीत पवार को लाया गया है, कोई ज़रूरत नहीं थी। आने वाले दिनों में मुख्यमंत्री बदल सकता है, मैं आपको बोल रहा हूँ।
जो एकनाथ शिंदे हैं, जो मुख्यमंत्री बने हुए हैं, 2 पहिए को साथ में लेकर चल रहे हैं, 3 पहिया सरकार हो गई है। क्या वो इस बात से इत्तेफाक रखते हैं कि जो बीजेपी कर रही है, जिनसे इनको सबसे बड़ी दिक्कत थी, अजीत पवार से सबसे बड़ी दिक्कत थी कि वो तकलीफ देते थे जब महाविकास आघाड़ी में थे, अब उनके साथ बैठे हैं?
While Chief Minister Eknath Shinde may be able to buy peace for a little while longer, elections are now fast approaching. Some of his party members are surely getting restless. He certainly has a tough job of keeping his flock together, and that certainly is priority number 1 for him. Bureau Report, India Today.
And we started with this, but it is the big development today. Ajit Pawar crossing a Lakshman Rekha, slamming his uncle like no detractor, certainly no family member has ever done before. From backing Modi in 2024 to hitting out at him over his alliance with the NCP to slamming opposition parties meeting in Patna. This was an Ajit Pawar who was on fire. It was an hour-long speech. He didn't mince any words. Sharad Pawar, his daughter, named and shamed him in full view in response. Take a look.
A show of strength, a poster war, and a family feud. The Nationalist Congress Party split wide open, and it's no holds barred. The breakaway NCP groups, Sharad Pawar camp and Ajit Pawar camp, held separate meetings in Mumbai enlisting support of MLAs and party office bearers. Ajit Pawar, whose posters across Mumbai incidentally carried photos of his uncle, spewed fire against Sharad Pawar from the podium.
एखादा माणूस नोकरीमध्ये लागला तर महाराष्ट्र सरकारमध्ये 58व्या वर्षी रिटायर होतो, तर भाजपमध्ये 75 वर्षांनंतर रिटायर केलं जातं. आता जर वय जास्त झालं, 82 झालं, 83 झालं, तुम्ही कधी थांबणार आहात का नाही?
From backing Narendra Modi to hitting out at Pawar over Mahagathbandhan meetings, Ajit Pawar pulled no punches. Of all the blows, the one on Pawar's age was the unkindest. Sharad Pawar's daughter and MP Supriya Sule hit back at her cousin.
Naturally corrupt party. माझ्या वाचनात आणि ऐकण्यात आता आलं की काही लोकांचं म्हणणं आहे की काही लोकांचं वय झालंय, त्याच्यामुळे त्यांनी फक्त आशीर्वाद द्यावे. का बरं आशीर्वाद द्यावे? अरे सबसे देखो तो फारूक अब्दुल्ला साहेबांपेक्षा 3 वर्षांनी मोठे आहेत. अरे लड़ले, मैं तो शरद से 3 साल बड़ा हूँ, मैं लड़ रहा हूँ शरद को बोल, मेरे तरह तू भी लड़ ले.
NCP patriarch Sharad Pawar tore into his political rivals when he took stage at the YB Chavan Memorial. The Battle of Pawars has entered the next round. The Ajit Pawar faction has moved the election commission, staking claim to party name and symbol, while Sharad Pawar camp has moved a caveat urging the EC to listen to their side as well before passing an order. With Sahil Joshi in Mumbai, Bureau Report, India Today.
Now, the decision of the Maharashtra political spectrum now lies in the hands of the Assembly Speaker Rahul Narvekar. In an exclusive interview to India Today, Narvekar made it clear that there are no two factions. The NCP will be treated as one party, but which camp becomes that asli NCP? Watch what Rahul Narvekar, the Assembly Speaker of Maharashtra, tells India Today.
A party and a family divided. NCP's warring camps led by Ajit Pawar and Sharad Pawar called separate meetings on Wednesday to show their strength. To bolster the claim on party and symbol, both camps took affidavits from MLAs in their support. As the two factions claimed support of legislators, the role of Maharashtra Assembly Speaker Rahul Narvekar becomes critical. In an exclusive interview to India Today, Narvekar said he is yet to ascertain where the real NCP stands.
किसी भी गुट ने मेरे पास ऐसा निवेदन नहीं दिया है कि पार्टी में किसी प्रकार की फूट पड़ी है और इसीलिए आज मेरे सामने राष्ट्रवादी कांग्रेस पार्टी लेजिस्लेटिव पार्टी जो है वो अभी तक एक गुट के तरीके से मैं उसको देख रहा हूं.
Among the many crucial decisions for Narvekar will be picking the NCP whip. While Ajit Pawar has appointed Anil Patil as whip, the Sharad Pawar camp has named Jitendra Awad the NCP whip. Rahul Narvekar says neither of the two factions of the NCP have given him a letter notifying him of a split in the party.
पॉलिटिकल पार्टी के लीडरशिप के बारे में विवाद है तो हमें निर्णय लेते समय हम किस रिप्रेजेंटेटिव को अधिकृत पार्टी का रिप्रेजेंटेटिव मानते हैं वो हमें तय करना है और वो तय करने के बाद हम इस निष्कर्ष पे आ सकेंगे कि उस पॉलिटिकल पार्टी का एक्सपेक्टेशन क्या है, डिजायर क्या है, कौन विप बनना चाहिए, कौन गठनेता बनना चाहिए और उसे रिकॉग्निशन दिया जाएगा.
Narvekar will also decide on the disqualification petition filed by Sharad Pawar camp against 9 MLAs including Ajit Pawar. But this might take time. The speaker has not given his ruling on the disqualification petitions filed by Uddhav Thackeray's Sena against Eknath Shinde and 15 other MLAs more than a year ago. Even if the speaker takes his time on deciding disqualification pleas, a final call will come from the Election Commission. Ajit Pawar and Sharad Pawar will be moving the Election Commission's taking claim to the party and symbol. With Rajdeep Sardesai and Sahil Joshi, Bureau Report, India Today.
Political strategy, moving, shaking, what comes next is one thing, but finally in the immediate future, it all boils down to the numbers over who's going to be the Dada of the NCP. Akshita brings you those numbers, breaks them down and explains to you why Ajit Pawar at this point of time seems to have the advantage over his uncle. The big numbers fight in the NCP coming up next.
This woman from Kazakhstan has made it her life's mission to help underprivileged children. Anna started an NGO during COVID-19 to educate children in Jaipur who can't afford going to school. Anna's NGO called Indian Women Impact has been at it for 3 years now, changing the lives of so many children for the better. Acting as a bridge for children from less privileged families. She offers quality coaching alongside her team of committed teachers.
The children, those who live in Basti, they go to a government school and they come here for study. To get extra knowledge, my parents live in a Basti and they cannot afford expensive course and school for me and my brother and sister. So sir, we come here and study all of those subjects.
Recently, some of the NGO students from disadvantaged backgrounds also performed a French play at the famed National School of Drama in Delhi. Anna and her husband, who is a doctor, use all of their earnings to try to maintain the NGO.
It's been 3 years as we have been running this NGO, Indian Women Impact, and the entire concept is to provide the quality, world-class education to the children from underprivileged backgrounds. And the dream we have is to create the school that can accommodate 5,000 students from such backgrounds, where we can compete with the world-class education. That's the dream.
At this Jaipur-based NGO, students from different backgrounds come together to get an opportunity to achieve all these dreams.
At the NGO, Anna and her group of dedicated teachers try to provide wings to dreams of underprivileged students who earlier had little or no avenues to fulfill their aspirations. Once they come over here, they leave their less than perfect backgrounds behind to get submerged into a world of creativity, of learning and of dreaming big. With camera person Manish Devankur Vadhavan in Jaipur for India Today.
Forecast now. Delhi, maximum 37 and minimum 29 degrees. Mumbai, maximum 30 and minimum 25 degrees. Kolkata, maximum 34 and minimum 27 degrees. Bangalore, maximum 25 and minimum 19 degrees. Chennai, maximum 34 and minimum 26 degrees. Hyderabad, maximum 30 and minimum 23 degrees.
Amit, what is the amount of money that you have sort of put into the entire business? How large is it today? And what is the inventory that you have that is to be sold?
So look, as I said, we have contributed the historical land, so to speak. Because as I have maintained all along, and even in that article, that we have been sitting right there during the COVID time, cash flow positive on this project. Even we took a debt on the second project, but even there also the cash flow generation has been far higher. If you are selling the building to the tune of 80%, your ability is always a milestone collection, and our collection milestones are achieving very quickly. So we do not see a challenge of getting the money back from the customers. So when we get the money from the customers, it enables a cash flow positive. So therefore, what our contribution is primarily on the land, and initially we have put some small money. However, now inventory, when we talk about, in the first two projects, as I mentioned, 80% is sold, so only 20% is left. On the third project, as we speak today, I think close to 30% has been sold, and we are looking anything between in the next 2 years to sell another 30-40% of that. So now practically we are already sold out for the various projects. Now we have already signed a joint development agreement in Bandra, which we should be launching over the next.
Good evening. You're watching 6 p.m. Prime here on India Today. I'm Akshrita Nandagopal and you're joining us for our rolling coverage on all that's playing out in Maharashtra. Two important meets, out of which there's been one big takeaway. What do the numbers look like? And that's what you see on your screens right now. On one hand, you've got Ajit Pawar's faction with 31 MLAs, including him, and 14 on the other, on Sharad Pawar's side. So if you look at the numbers, it's definitely in Ajit Pawar's favour. He needs, however, 36 to evade the anti-defection law. And Ajit at this point is saying that it's not 31, but way more. He has 42 on his side. These numbers will decide the fate of the NCP, who it will go to, Ajit Pawar or to Sharad Pawar. And that's what we'll be tracking and getting you the latest on. First, as always, the headlines. Mega show of strength by Ajit and Sharad Pawar factions. 31 MLAs back Ajit camp, 14 with Sharad Pawar. Senior Pawar roars that the NCP symbol won't go anywhere. Ajit Pawar doesn't hold back, trains guns at Uncle Sharad Pawar, says Pawar Senior is 83 years old and should step down, should retire. Exposes Sharad Pawar's flip-flop by joining hands with Shiv Sena and claims there was a meeting with the BJP. Supriya Sule responds to cousin Ajit Pawar's age taunt at her father, says Sharad senior most and is steering the NCP ship. Roars the fight is against BJP's behaviour. Is there trouble in the Shinde Sena? Big claim by NCP leader Mahesh Tapse, who says revolt is brewing in Shinde camp. Claims Shinde MLAs are upset over the Ajit Pawar faction union. The other stories we're tracking this evening. Bulldozer justice in Madhya Pradesh. House of BJP youth workers seen urinating on a Dalit man. Raised down. NSA slapped on accused Pravesh Shukla. And countdown begins to the launch of Chandrayaan 3. ISRO puts out video of moonlanders assembly now. And let's begin by getting you the latest updates coming in from Maharashtra. It looks like the action could move from Maharashtra to the national capital. We're hearing that tomorrow Sharad Pawar is going to be making his way to Delhi and he's going to be holding a national executive meet tomorrow in the national capital at 3 p.m. This comes after all of the rebels, all of whom are backing Ajit Pawar, came together and declared that Ajit Pawar is the NCP chief. And even as you've got both factions now taking organizational decisions, trying to claim they're the real NCP, Sharad Pawar is going to be holding a national executive meeting in Delhi tomorrow, perhaps to strategize how to respond to Ajit Pawar declaring himself as the national president and also to counter the EC steps that have been taken so far. Ritvik Balekar is joining us with more details on this. So Ritvik, Sharad Pawar now heading to the national capital. Tomorrow morning we're hearing he'll be catching a flight, and tomorrow afternoon that crucial national executive meet will happen. Is there going to be a resolution officially passed against Ajit Pawar once again?
Yes, absolutely. The meeting in Delhi on 6th of July, that is tomorrow, was pre-planned. It was announced a week before. But before that, we saw how Ajit Pawar took a meeting in a hurried way at his official residence in Mumbai at Devgiri Bungalow, and all the MLAs starting pouring in, and how they garnered support. And at that moment, after that meeting, they went to Raj Bhavan and directly took the oath. So the meeting, the national executive meeting of Sharad Pawar was pre-scheduled on 6th of July tomorrow. So tomorrow that will be taking place. Sharad Pawar will be going to Delhi today evening after this meeting, which was held in YB Chavan Centre. And it is being said and told by sources that in national executive meeting, again, a resolution will be passed where Sharad Pawar, as a national president of his party, NCP, will be declared with the majority of the party workers, the party national executive members, and also Supriya Sule, who is a newly appointed working president of the party, will be re-elected. But we need to see that will Praful Patel, who is second working president of the party, will be re-elected or he'll be removed from that post. We need to see that, yes.
Okay, Ritvik, just stay on with me. For all the viewers who are joining us on this broadcast now, let's round up all the latest updates that have come in on the story. In the last few hours, you've seen these big show of strength by both Ajit Pawar and Sharad Pawar. But what's the result of that? Let's break down for you all the latest updates.
The 7 p.m. show
NCP patriarch Sharad Pawar hit out at the Ajit Pawar faction, mocking them for still using his pictures in their posters. Sharad Pawar said that the Ajit camp knows they cannot survive without him. He also asserted that the party symbol isn't going anywhere. Now, a comment that the Sharad Pawar faction has taken serious offense to is Ajit Pawar's taunt over Pawar Senior's age. Supriya Sule has slammed Ajit Pawar for mocking Sharad Pawar's age. She added that the party's original symbol is with them. In fact, through the meeting called by Sharad Pawar, the leaders went on to target BJP repeatedly. Supriya Sule accused the Saffron Party of doing politics of convenience, repeating what Prime Minister Modi called the NCP, of calling them the National Corrupt Party. After the big show of strength that happened earlier today, NCP leaders who are part of the Ajit Pawar faction were taken to Taj Land's End Hotel for lunch. There's been questions about whether this will trigger resort politics, but for now, we're hearing that's not the case. The fight has already moved to the Election Commission. The Ajit camp has moved EC to stake claim of the party name and symbol. Sharad Pawar's camp, however, has filed a caveat in the Election Commission, urging the poll panel to listen to them as well before taking any sort of decision. So let's get you all the updates on the ground. After that show of strength, what is Ajit Pawar up to? What's his next step going to be? Pankaj Upadhyay is joining us live from Ajit Pawar's residence. We also have Mustafa Sheikh who's joining us from the YB Chavan Centre. That's where Sharad Pawar's faction held their meeting. Pankaj, if I can come across to you first, Sharad Pawar has called a National Executive Meet. This was in the offing. It was planned all along, but there's no doubt that largely the discussions and the agenda will be to take on Ajit Pawar. So what will really be the counter? What is the strategy as far as the Ajit camp is concerned?
Well, definitely this is an identity crisis for the NCP at this point of time. But the Ajit Pawar camp clearly realizes that they have to act, and they have to act smart and fast as well, clearly realizing that they have got a counter petition with the Election Commission of India. Though all along, Ajit Pawar has been claiming that he has the numbers. Till this morning, they were maintaining that they have the support of 40 plus MLAs, but as it turns out, on ground zero, their support is of 31 MLAs. And Ajit Pawar clearly realizes this number is not enough. And that is the reason why currently a meeting is underway of the NCP leaders here at the 5-star hotel in suburban Mumbai. And in fact, Praful Patel and Dilip Walse Patil, the two senior leaders of the NCP, have already left this 5-star hotel. But what we are learning is that the meeting is currently underway, and Ajit Pawar is trying to get in touch with more MLAs. In fact, he was very vocal about this in his speech as well this noontime, when he clearly said that he has not been able to get in touch with all the MLAs. Some are in the hospital, some have not been in touch with him, some have not come to the place. And Ajit realizes that unless, of course, he gets the majority of the MLAs with him, the fight with Sharad Pawar, with his uncle, is going to get really very close. Because even though Ajit Pawar has said at the age of 83, now Sharad Pawar should give up and give him blessing, clearly Sharad Pawar is not giving up.
Pankaj, is there a possibility? Is there a possibility of the same old rigmarole of resort politics kicking off? Are the MLAs going to be gathered at the hotel where, in fact, Ajit Pawar took them for lunch? Are they going to be made to stay there till there's some concrete idea of where things stand?
See, I think irrespective of whether there is a resort politics or not, there is no guarantee whether the MLAs are going to stay either with the Ajit Pawar camp or the Sharad Pawar camp. You know, this jumping ships from one camp to another is bound to happen, as we saw happened with the Shiv Sena faction as well. Well, there was a vertical split in the Shiv Sena, and for the many weeks, many MLAs jumped ships. So it is bound to happen. But here, Ajit Pawar seems to have a clear edge because he is in power now. He is the Deputy Chief Minister of the state along with Devendra Fadnavis, and he has the close aides of Sharad Pawar, that is Dilip Walse Patil, Chhagan Bhujbal, Praful Patel with him, and they have tremendous influence on most of the MLAs as well. So if he has reached the number 31, for him getting to number 36 should not be all that difficult, but that will require effort.
You know, they've got 31. Yes, they've got bigger numbers, larger numbers. You would say that majority support is for Ajit Pawar when compared to Sharad Pawar, but it's clearly not enough, and that's why there were repeated guarantees from the Ajit faction when they spoke, when several leaders including Ajit Pawar spoke, saying more MLAs are joining us, they're on their way, they're coming in from different parts of Maharashtra. Pankaj, stay with me. Let's round up all the in fact comments made by Ajit Pawar, because besides the reassurances that we have all the necessary support, we have the numbers, what stood out was how Ajit Pawar didn't shy away from repeatedly, constantly targeting Sharad Pawar, even over his age, saying it's time for you to retire.
A show of strength, a poster war, and a family feud. The Nationalist Congress Party split wide open, and it's no holds barred. The breakaway NCP groups, Sharad Pawar camp and Ajit Pawar camp, held separate meetings in Mumbai, enlisting support of MLAs and party office bearers. Ajit Pawar, whose posters across Mumbai incidentally carried photos of his uncle, spewed fire against Sharad Pawar from the podium.
एखादा माणूस नोकरीमध्ये लागला तर महाराष्ट्र सरकारमध्ये 58व्या वर्षी रिटायर होतो, तर भाजपमध्ये 75 वर्षांनंतर रिटायर केलं जातं. आता जर वय जास्त झालं, 82 झालं, 83 झालं, तुम्ही कधी थांबणार आहात का नाही?
From backing Narendra Modi to hitting out at Pawar over Mahagathbandhan meetings, Ajit Pawar pulled no punches. Of all the blows, the one on Pawar's age was the unkindest. Sharad Pawar's daughter and MP Supriya Sule hit back at her cousin.
Naturally corrupt party. माझ्या वाचनात आणि ऐकण्यात आता आलं की काही लोकांचं म्हणणं आहे की काही लोकांचं वय झालंय, त्याच्यामुळे त्यांनी फक्त आशीर्वाद द्यावे. का बरं आशीर्वाद द्यावे? अरे सबसे देखो तो फारूक अब्दुल्ला साहिबांपेक्षा 3 वर्षांनी मोठे आहेत. अरे लड़ले, मैं तो शरद से 3 साल बड़ा हूँ, मैं लड़ रहा हूँ शरद को बोल, मेरे तरह तू भी लड़ ले.
NCP patriarch Sharad Pawar tore into his political rivals when he took stage at the YB Chavan Memorial. The Battle of Pawars has entered the next round. The Ajit Pawar faction has moved the election commission, staking claim to party name and symbol, while Sharad Pawar camp has moved a caveat, urging the EC to listen to their side as well before passing an order. With Sahil Joshi in Mumbai, Bureau Report, India Today.
And get set for the legal fight to now kick off. The Election Commission now has confirmed that they've received documents from both factions as far as the NCP party name and symbol is concerned. The EC has got an affidavit from both sides. Sources in the Election Commission have told India Today that the poll panel has asked both sides, the Ajit Pawar faction and Sharad Pawar faction, to submit their documents soon. The legal department of the Election Commission is working on the affidavits of both parties. A sense of deja vu, because this is exactly what played out in the Shiv Sena fight as well, between the Uddhav Sena and the Shinde Sena. Now, Ajit and Sharad Pawar will have to prove their case legally as well. Beyond the numbers, they will have to also give all possible details to prove that they have the power to make organizational changes and, most importantly, to ensure that they get the party name and the party symbol. Both sides have made it very clear that they're not going to back down without a fight. In the meetings that happened today, both publicly declared that they are the real NCP, that the party symbol belongs to them. So it'll be interesting to see what really happens with the Election Commission right now. Aishwarya Paliwal is joining us with more details on this. Aishwarya, what are you picking up from your sources in the Election Commission? How will this now move forward?
Well, let me tell you, the Election Commission, in fact, has got all the documents from both the factions, from Sharad Pawar's faction as well as from Ajit Pawar's faction. Now, at the moment, Ajit Pawar is claiming he has the support of 40 MLAs. Now, let me tell you, the two-third rule clearly states, if he has more than 35, then there will be no defection law. But as far as the Election Commission is concerned, the Commission will have to go to the grass level, Akshata, and then see who are the people who are standing with Ajit Pawar's NCP faction. The other thing, that the Election Commission will do is that making sure that, they get the affidavits, and that's exactly what happened in the Shiv Sena case too. In fact, let me tell you, they received around, what they received was close to 4 lakh, truckloads of documents. So that's something which we are expecting will take place at the moment. The Commission is saying in the next upcoming days, we could see, Akshata, as soon as 24 to 48 hours is when the Election Commission will write to both the factions, asking them to give them the required documents.
Aishwarya, thanks for the moment for joining us with all of those details. So we'll track this angle as well very closely on how the Election Commission plans really to take this case forward, and has taken note of both the affidavits submitted by both the Ajit faction and the Sharad Pawar faction. We've spoken in great detail about Ajit Pawar's strategy, what he's up to. Let's talk about Sharad Pawar now. And Mustafa Sheikh is joining us live right now from the YB Chavan Centre, which is where you had that event where Sharad Pawar spoke earlier as well. Mustafa, you had Ajit Pawar this afternoon very clearly taking on Sharad Pawar, not holding back, targeting him over his age, targeting him over his political strategies, saying he's met with the BJP repeatedly. Sharad Pawar, interestingly, in his speech, chose not to really target Ajit Pawar repeatedly. Instead, he spoke about his political journey, he spoke about his milestones, his achievements, the party's achievements as well.
Well, Akshata, that's true, because Sharad Pawar also knows what he's against, because last year everybody has seen what happened in the case was in Shiv Sena versus Shiv Sena, and Ajit Pawar has clearly said that he has very much confidence in the Election Commission, and we see Election Commission progressing in this matter and issuing notices and acting promptly. So it clearly they know what against them, and hence it looks like the NCP at Sharad Pawar faction has that started morally and mentally preparing their cadre for 2024 elections, and they are also believing that as the most number of MLAs are with Ajit Pawar, it's likely that he will make it to that 2/3 mark. But Ajit Pawar is not only making scathing attacks on Sharad Pawar, he is also moving very swiftly to take on the entire party. He has not only gone to Election Commission, he has said in the Election Commission's petition that the constitution of the NCP was not followed, appointments were made, these appointments were illegal, and hence now with favorable majority in the party, Ajit Pawar has taken over as the national president of the NCP. So Sharad Pawar is very well having a meeting of the national executive tomorrow in Delhi, but Ajit Pawar is very moving fast in the legal aspects of it, to show that somewhere something is going to happen more in Maharashtra politics, because he has clearly come out, Ajit Pawar has come out in his speech and said that he wants to be the Chief Minister of Maharashtra. Remember, it's the BJP which has 105 MLAs in the Maharashtra Assembly. He has just joined the government and he's making his aspirations very much clear. So this seems that there is more happening in Maharashtra's politics which meets more than it meets the eyes, and something is going to happen again in the next few days. Back to you.
All right, Mustafa, thank you for joining us with that update. We'll keep coming across to you over the next 45 minutes. I'm slipping into a very short break, but on the other side, as we focus on all that's playing out in Maharashtra, we also recap for you the political journey of Ajit Pawar. How has he reached this stature today that he is taking on his own uncle, the man who essentially built him in the NCP? We'll talk about that in just a bit.
one policy short circuit the fledgling electric two-wheeler industry could have done without. A huge slash in subsidies given to EV manufacturers from the 1st of June resulted in a massive hike in prices of e-scooters, and the result is for all to see. Sales of e-scooters plunged in June, with the two-wheelers no more an attractive proposition as they were earlier. The red-hot sector, which has seen massive investments in the past few years, had a bitter reality check in June. E-scooter sales jumped 115% in January, with healthy growth being registered all the way till April. Sales in May zoomed 148% on year, with customers advancing their purchases before the subsidies were slashed. In June, sales were down a massive 57% on month. In comparison, the electric four-wheeler market, which was untouched by the subsidy cut, saw a huge 88% rise in June, even though sales fell sequentially. The sales shock for e-scooters is a result of a huge hike in prices announced by EV manufacturers last month. The companies were forced to raise prices after the government slashed subsidies introduced under the FAME 2 scheme to popularize electric mobility. The biggest player in the e-scooter market, Ola, reported a 39% drop in month-on-month sales in June. It had hiked prices by up to 15,000 rupees last month. TVS Motor saw its e-scooter sales plunge by 62% to just 7,791 units. The company had raised prices by up to 22,000 rupees. Ather sales plunged 49%. The company raised its prices by up to 30,285 rupees in June. Bajaj Auto's Chetak e-scooter saw its sales dip 54%. It had raised prices by 22,000 rupees last month. Okinawa was the only outlier in the list, with sales up 2% to 2,615 units. Analysts, though, are treating this fall in sales as a blip in the long-term EV story, while the cut in subsidies is a big stumbling block. Experts believe the government is still intent on pushing the electric vehicle industry and shifting away from fossil fuels. Bureau Report, Business Today Television.
Why does this happen? Let me tell you the science behind it.
For more informative videos like this, keep watching India Today News Mo.
Kerala's public health, all political parties traveling from different parts.
Armed with facts,
Looking at political back.
she takes the news by its horns.
You think the future of these students are not hampered?
Fierce, bold and direct, setting the tone for the biggest stories from every corner and every angle. Expect nothing but the unfiltered truth.
News first, niceties later. Watch me, Nabila Jamal, on India Today.
Welcome back. This evening, as we track all the latest updates coming in from Maharashtra, let's go back in time and talk about Ajit Pawar's political journey. How is it that he's reached this particular level today, where he's trying to carve a political niche for himself, where he's trying to carve his own political identity, and that means even taking on his own uncle, NCP patriarch Sharad Pawar. Ajit Pawar has faced a lot of controversies, a lot of scams, but he's also served as Deputy Chief Minister of Maharashtra several times in the recent past.
The fortune wheel has turned in Ajit Anantrao Pawar's favour on his birth month. Come 22nd July, the nephew of the Maharashtra satrap Sharad Pawar will turn 64 years. It's been a long, winding journey for Ajit Pawar. Despite being the son of the elder brother, he waited in the wings for nearly 5 decades since his political debut in 1982. Ajit Pawar's father worked with V. Shantaram's Raj Kamal Studios, but he died at an early age. Ajit Pawar gave up his studies to fill in his father's shoes. Then, Sharad Pawar was the rising star of Congress Party in Maharashtra. The nephew started with the Sugar Factory Cooperative and then District Cooperative Bank before becoming the MP from Baramati. He's been mentored by Sharad Pawar, the Machiavelli of regional politics in India. Despite being in numerous controversies, the 7-term MLA learned the value of grassroots politics very well. Today, he enjoys a significant following among legislators and cadre alike. An expert in electoral management and a resourceful leader, he groomed many MLAs and even helped them get elected. It ensured that he remained number 2 in his uncle's party even after the arrival of his cousin and Sharad Pawar's daughter, Supriya Sule. But he'd waited for his turn in the sun for too long, and he was becoming impatient. Ajit became Deputy Chief Minister in November 2010 for the first time after flexing his muscle and thwarting his uncle's plan to again give the position to the party's heavyweight Chhagan Bhujbal. In a surprise move, he resigned in September 2012 following allegations against him in an irrigation scam. But 3 months later, he came back after obtaining a clean sheet for himself from the then Congress NCP government. Ajit Pawar's ambition has always been the post of Chief Minister of Maharashtra. He was close to the post in 2004 when the NCP won 2 seats more than the Congress. But Sharad Pawar conceded the post to the Congress in exchange for more cabinet berths. A determined Ajit ensured support among the MLAs and arm-twisted his uncle to make him Deputy Chief Minister in 2010. Since then, he's taken oath as Deputy CM 4 more times. Till now, he's been the real strongman for Congress NCP Bureau of Western Maharashtra. Ajit Pawar not only enjoys a good following there, but knows the in and out of the powerful cooperation sector, which is the backbone of the region's economy. BJP is desperate to make inroads into the sector. Now with Ajit Pawar on board, it will be easier for it to vie for the 11 Lok Sabha and over 60 assembly seats in Western Maharashtra. In fact, even Supriya Sule's Lok Sabha seat of Baramati could be in danger. Because truly speaking, it was Ajit who handled affairs in Pawar family's pocket borough of Baramati. But when Sharad Pawar wanted to resign in the beginning of May, the power tussle and Cold War between the nephew and uncle reached a tipping point. Sharad Pawar made his daughter Supriya Sule NCP president, and the plot to 2nd July, Ajit Pawar's mutiny, was written then and there. Bureau Report, India Today.
And with that report, I'm slipping into a short break here on 6 p.m. Prime. Coming up on the other side, we're going to be talking about another aspect in Maharashtra. Is there trouble brewing for Eknath Shinde as a result of the tie-up with Ajit Pawar's faction? We'll talk about that and a meeting that's slated to happen in just about 30 minutes from now. We'll get you those details.
expert and I'm going to show you all the different ways to achieve your fitness goals. If you see, I'm hanging by a harness over here. Very interesting because I'm about to do aerial bungee jumping. Anushka is an expert at that. She's going to teach me and Nitika how to do this. It combines dance, acrobatics and lets you achieve your overall fitness goals.
These workouts help you defy gravity and make you use body weights to propel movements. You are strapped to a harness, a bungee cord that is secured to the ceiling. This form of workout has been around for many years, but only just recently picking momentum in India, quite literally. Here you can see Nitika and me having a lot of fun. A dance-like routine, lunges, jumps and Peter Pan-like movement. How does this even help?
You burn your beautiful calories in a beautiful way.
Yeah.
Second, you sweat. Because you sweat, your pores get open and activated.
Yeah.
Because of your heart pumping, there's so much of blood rush, your blockages get open.
Yeah.
Then you have knees functioning.
Yeah.
So the function of your knee, because the format in such a way that is a low impact.
These exercises are extremely nice. They are basically taking off the weight from your joints. There are certain injuries that you're still predisposed to, especially if you are a person who has low back pain involvement of any kind. So if you're an osteoporotic person, bungee jumping may not be, or the bungee exercises may not be the best workout for you.
Aerial bungee fitness has a lot of benefits. Not only is it a full body workout, it's also low impact exercise, making it suitable for anyone susceptible to injuries. It will give you core strength and stability and enhanced flexibility. It also helps with stress relief and mood enhancement, which is a given with any workout.
They're jumping up in the air and giving each other a high five, and guess what? They're burning a lot of calories while doing it. Why would you not go in for an exercise which is so much fun? Now, just to give you a download, one session can cost you anything between 800 to 1000 rupees, and you should ideally do it thrice a week to maintain that continuity. I've had a great session with you doing this workout. Tell me a little bit about who should not do this, because it involves a lot of movement.
Okay, so talking about who should not do this, because it's definitely very hard on your heart. So anybody with heart diseases will not perform bungee. Second, pregnant ladies, anybody with knee injuries, any fracture which has not been healed cannot perform this.
Make your media plan smarter with India Today Live TV on your connected devices. Amplify your brand with 100 million smart internet viewers. To advertise, mail us at sales@aajtak.com.
Why does this happen? Let me tell you the science behind it.
For more informative videos like this, keep watching India Today News Mode.
Welcome back. As the Pawars continue to fight it out for the NCP, is there trouble brewing as a direct result of Ajit Pawar's move for the Shinde Sena, for Eknath Shinde? Well, between portfolio fights of finance and planning, because Shinde Sena reportedly wants these portfolios and the Ajit faction is also fighting it out. There's also talk about MLAs who are with Eknath Shinde voicing their anger, their dissatisfaction over the fact that they're now back to square one, that they're allying with the NCP. Let's get your details of that story.
All is not well in the ruling alliance in Maharashtra. The induction of 9 NCP MLAs led by Ajit Pawar has sparked a rift in Chief Minister Eknath Shinde's party. Several Shiv Sena MLAs are now upset over their long-standing political rivals NCP joining them. The divide forced Chief Minister Eknath Shinde to cancel his trip to Nagpur to welcome President Draupadi Murmu and call a party meeting at his official residence instead. With the NCP joining the ruling coalition, Shiv Sena MLAs fear losing out on key portfolios and later even election tickets to Ajit Pawar's group.
ये गुट आने से कुछ हमारी जो सत्ता है, सत्ता में उनको हिस्सेदारी देना जरूरी हुआ था। जब उनको सत्ता में हिस्सेदारी दी तो बट नेचुरल है कि कुछ हमारे लोगों के जो पद मिलने वाले थे वो कम हुए, इसलिए थोड़ी नाराजगी है, ये मैं मानता हूँ। ये कोई झूठ या छुपाने वाली बात नहीं। नहीं वो आ गए, हम बहुत खुश है, ऐसा नहीं है।
The Shiv Sena and the BJP have 10 ministers each in the present Maharashtra cabinet. With Sunday's inclusion of 9 NCP MLAs, the number of ministers has now risen to 29. The state can have a total of 43 ministers as per constitutional limit. The remaining 14 posts will have to be divided between 3 parties now, with the BJP likely to take the lion's share. Meanwhile, Uddhav Thackeray's Shiv Sena has gone on the offensive. They claim the balance of power in the Maharashtra ruling alliance has shifted from Chief Minister Eknath Shinde to the new Deputy Chief Minister, Ajit Pawar. The Sena UBT has approached the Supreme Court seeking a decision by the Speaker on their pending disqualification petition against the Shinde Sena MLAs.
बात ऐसी है कि एक फ्रेज है, एक फुल दो हाफ, कभी कभी आप मजाक में ले लेते हैं, लेकिन हमारे यहाँ 2 हाफ है, 2 डिप्टी सीएम, और एक फुल नहीं है, वो भी डाउटफुल है। मुख्यमंत्री वो कभी भी जा सकते हैं। जिस तरह से अजीत पवार को लाया गया है, कोई ज़रूरत नहीं थी। आने वाले दिनों में मुख्यमंत्री बदल सकता है, मैं आपको बोल रहा हूँ।
जो एकनाथ शिंदे हैं, जो मुख्यमंत्री बने हुए हैं, 2 पहिए को साथ में लेकर चल रहे हैं, 3 पहिया सरकार हो गई है। क्या वो इस बात से इत्तेफाक रखते हैं कि जो बीजेपी कर रही है, जिनसे इनको सबसे बड़ी दिक्कत थी, अजीत पवार से सबसे बड़ी दिक्कत थी कि वो तकलीफ देते थे जब महाविकास आघाड़ी में थे, अब उनके साथ बैठे हैं।
While Chief Minister Eknath Shinde may be able to buy peace for a little while longer, elections are now fast approaching. Some of his party members are surely getting restless. He certainly has a tough job of keeping his flock together, and that certainly is priority number 1 for him. Bureau Report, India Today.
Vidya is joining us live from Mumbai with more details on that. Vidya, good evening. In less than 30 minutes from now, there's going to be a meeting of the Shinde Sena faction. Is there any truth to all of these reports and the NCP's claims that there's disgruntlement within the Shinde Sena camp?
Well, it's not just the the NCP claim. It is actually very true that for the sheer fact that these people have been waiting. Remember, there were more than 40 of them who had gone over with Eknath Shinde, but only a handful of them had got some of the portfolios, and rest of them were still waiting. They had been told that there would be an expansion, but when the expansion did happen, it took they actually took NCP people instead of taking their own, and which has been a concern for the rest of the Eknath Shinde camp members, and that is one of the reasons why this meeting is being held by Eknath Shinde and other leaders, to make sure that their feelings are assuaged. They are assured that there will be something further for them, and it's not just instruction that will be given. They will also take a feedback on what the rest of the people really want, and then they will decide chart their next course of action. But all this certainly the entire
All right, Vidya, thank you for those updates. We'll keep coming across to you. 7 p.m. is when the meeting will be taking place. I'm slipping into a short break here on India Today. We will, of course, continue getting you every single update coming in from Maharashtra. This is going to play out for the next many days at least, the fight for NCP. On the other side of a short break, we're shifting focus to that big meeting between Andhra Pradesh Chief Minister Jagan Mohan Reddy and Prime Minister Modi. We're getting you the inside track of that meeting. Was there a discussion on the Andhra election schedule? More on that coming your way in just a bit.
Breathe, breathe, breathe.
A stronger core, a toned figure, classical yoga. Add some anti-gravity into the mix. And you have this fun, elegant and rather exciting aerial yoga practice going for you. Celebrities all over are obsessed with this Instagrammable yoga. They've been hanging upside down like owls of the aerial silks suspended from the ceiling. The acrobatic aspect makes it a lot of fun and rather very clickable. Shilpa Shetty, Alia Bhatt, Jackie Fernandez, Kareena Kapoor Khan, Ananya Pandey, Malaika Aroor and so many more have shown us how they look after their bodies and tone those abs for a beautifully strong core that makes age look like just another number. Aerial yoga is a hybrid one. Developed by Michelle Dortignac in 2006, it involves dancing, pilates, yoga poses and tons of acrobatic moves.